Well, if you're a fan of the channel and you watch the On the Hunt series, you'll know that I found these beauties at auction and I couldn't afford not to buy them. So check it out. These are the old school split ring rims. Now, unfortunately, well, not really unfortunately, but only one of them is the 10 hole that'll go on the front to match the movie truck. So Jeff, I still need those two off your Kenworth. So you got to get those across the border and up to me somehow. But these ones are actually the 5 big holes, but they'll make nice rear outers on the Snowman. The only thing is though, is I am having a heck of a time finding 1022 rubber. I can find the new tubes, but I can't find new tires. I have called a lot of tire shops and they are just not willing to find me any. Well, maybe not willing, but they can't seem to find any. So that might be a challenge, but at least we got them. We got our hands on them and we got them home. So let's roll one out and see what it looks like in front of the truck. It's actually a Toyo tire. It's not bad. But still, on your steers, you want quality. It's hard to drive through a blowout. But I'm curious what a 1022 height looks like against a 24.5. Oh, I ain't lifting that. There, how does that look? Oh yeah, that's what the look we're going for. Yeah, gotta make it movie accurate. Okay, let's try one of the 5 holers in the back. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's an old bias ply. Looking at the tread. That's pretty close actually in height. I wonder if I can get away with this. Running a 10x22 on the outers and a 24.5 steel on the inners. Now it looks slightly higher, but that could be because it's sitting on a bit of a raised part here. I actually think it's pretty close. It might even work. And doesn't that look old school? But don't worry, we're not going to waste these. These will go just beautiful on the Duke project. But now we're making an authentic Smokey and the Bandit truck. Right on. If anyone out there knows where to get 1022 tires, please send me a note, twinstickgarage@gmail.com, because I'm gonna need 4 in the back and 2 in the front. And I also wanted to explain a few things about these tires. I know I've been showing clips in the On the Hunt episode on how dangerous they can be. And these are actually split rings and not split rims. There was I believe it was Firestone that made a split rim where it was in 2 halves. And it would come together in the middle. This is still one solid rim with just the ring to make the outer lip of the wheel. But the old Firestone Widowmakers, they used to call them, the true Widowmakers, were actually 2 halves. And you could spot a Widowmaker because instead of this being smooth, there'll be a little edge here because the first half of the wheel is only about that wide, and then it clicks into a lip in the front half of the wheel. So basically you put the front half and the rear half through the tire and click them together. But it was only about 1/8 of an inch lip that would keep those 2 halves connected, and you couldn't really see if it actually made good connection. So that's why they could come apart if they weren't clicked together properly, and that force coming off of there is just ridiculous. I think the math is about, with 100 psi, it's about 40,000 pounds of pressure coming off. So those are the true Widowmakers, and if you find those, you probably won't find them anymore, but they've all been destroyed. They're actually supposed to destroy them when they find them, is what the tire shops are saying. But these are split rings, a little different. Military still uses split rings, a little bit safer. You still have to respect these, but they're not necessarily the Widowmakers that everyone makes them out to be. So what happens is, so if you took the valve stem out of here and released all this air pressure and broke the bead, you could actually pop this ring out. So you put one tire iron here and then one there, and then you could take this ring, and this ring just pops off all the way around, and that is the outer part of the wheel. But again, since it's removable, then that would allow the tire to come off of this wheel, because there's no longer any lip there. It's just smooth and flat. But then of course there's a true lip on the back side of the wheel, and that's part of the wheel right from the factory. So with these ones, when you put the tire on, you're supposed to either inflate it slowly, and you can, you know, bang in the split ring, and then you go up another 5 psi and then give it a bang again, because you want to make sure that this ring really seats against the lip on the wheel there. And once this guy gets locked in, then you can just keep airing it up. But you're still supposed to air it up in a cage, just in case it's a little crooked or something's not quite right, because this ring will come flying off of here. But once it's properly seated and it's aired up, it is safe. Front end loaders, tractors, military trucks, they're still quite common. And the guy I was talking to, an older fellow at one of the local tire shops, he goes, oh yeah, the younger guys don't really know how to do it, but as long as you're experienced and know what you're doing, they will still mount them, because these aren't Widowmakers. Widowmakers, again, are those split wheels. These are just split rings. So we can continue to use these. We just got to find 1022 rubber, and I guess I need one more wheel for the other side, but like I say, my friend in Montana is going to hook me up. Anyway, I can tell you, can probably hear it in my voice. I'm excited about this, because I'm trying to make this as movie accurate as possible, and 22-inch wheels is just right where it needs to be. Just at the Cummins store, because one of the fans out there gave me the part number for that beige paint. So let's go in and get some. Ooh, check this out, ISX 5 1/4. Oh, it's beautiful. I love that bright red Cummins paint.
This one? Yep.
But it's not period correct. That's the stuff we want right there. Good old classic Cummins beige. Yeah, so this is not old footage from December or January. This is May 19th. Had a little snow last night. Oh God, I love Alberta. Oh, sure doing a number to the trees. Wet, heavy snow and the leaves are out. Nothing could be better. Okay, so despite the fact that this morning started off rather miserable with our overnight snow that broke a bunch of trees, you know, in the early evening here, the sun kind of came out, and it's at least melting the snow away. So I hope this is gone in a few days and we can get back to spring, because it is almost June here after all. But what I wanted to do was share some of the cool stuff that's come in recently. I think you're gonna like it. Check this out. Like a glove. You know what that is? That is an early 70s A-model Kenworth bumper that matches the movie truck exactly. And this wasn't easy to find. I have been searching on the hunt, on wreckers, online, everywhere I could, and I couldn't find any. And of course I bought that, if you've been watching that earlier episode back when it was winter, I bought one that was a little bit taller, but it didn't quite match the movie the way as much as I'd like. and it didn't match up to the A model pockets there for the tow hooks. So I ended up searching on the internet. I found one guy that was in a forum, and he is like 4 or 5 year ago post, and someone was wanting to buy it, and he left his phone number on the forum post. So I reached out to him. His name was Jeremy, and I said, "You wouldn't by chance still have that bumper, would you?" And he goes, "I actually do." So we kind of went back and forth there, and we settled on a price, and he shipped it up here, and I'm so tickled. And I know, Jeremy, that was a terrible thing that UPS did. They pulled a whole bunch of crap with import duties, and they charged them way more than was originally supposed to be. So that's the joy of trying to get something into Canada from the States. It ended up costing 3 times what it was worth just to ship it here. But again, I'm very grateful. It looks perfect on the truck. I'm so happy it's here. Now it's got a little wear and tear, obviously. It's 40, 50 years old. So I'm gonna have to take it to a local shop to get the welds redone and then ground down and a little bit of it straightened out. And then we'll get our friends over at Spectrum to polish it up, and it'll look just perfect on the truck. The only thing with it is it's not quite right is the lights. They're just a little bit off from what the movie truck had. But I got something else to show you. So a while ago, I put a post on Instagram and I said, hey, I'm looking for the Perlux 200T model lights that were used in the movie truck. And some folks were saying, well, they're on eBay, you gotta search them out. And I did find a set that was on eBay, but the only catch was they wouldn't, again, ship it into Canada. Probably the guy that was selling them realized what a pain it is to get stuff across the border. So one of the awesome fans out there said, you know what, I'll buy them for you and I'll ship them, no worries, and we'll get them to you for Snowman. So Ron was his name. Thank you, Ron, so much for sending those up there. And I'll show you what we got. So those are the authentic lights. You see the shutters in behind the outer lens to send the light down to the ground for the fog lights. And those are exactly what was in the movie truck. So I couldn't figure it out because I was watching a lot of clips of the movie, and at a certain angle, they almost look like they're blacked out. And I was trying to figure out, well, what kind of lights are those? So again, another fan sent me on the goose chase here for Perlux lights, and we ended up finding them. So those are going to be perfect mounted in there. The only crappy part was when the box got to my mailbox, it sounded like broken glass rattling around in there. And sure enough, they had banged together, and one of the outer lenses got smashed. So I reached out to Ron, and he said, no worries, we're gonna fix that. So he found another guy on eBay that was selling lenses, and he sent those up to me at no cost, so we can fix these right up. So thanks again, Ron. They're gonna go perfect on the Snowman bumper. And then, more awesome fans, I got one more thing to show you. Same post on Instagram. A fellow, I think his name's Jeremy, he goes by, I think, JDC 379. He reached out and he says, you know what? I've got new old stock of those Perlux lights. And so we settled on a price for 2 of those. And he said, you know what? I've got 4 of them. I'll just send all 4 your way. So check these out. These are just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Get it out of the thing. Look at that. So now I actually have 6 of these classic 70s bumper lights. You're probably saying, well, what does he need 6 for? There's only 2 on there. So don't you worry. I've got a plan that I think you're gonna like. You're just gonna have to keep watching future episodes and see what I do with these 4. But again, you're gonna like it. So thanks again to the fans. Thanks again to Jeremy and Ron. And I am so excited. We're one step closer to making a proper movie truck. Okay, I should probably stop talking.
The last thing I want to be remembered as is an annoying blabbermouth. You know, nothing grinds my gears worse than some chowderhead who doesn't know when to keep his big trap shut.
So check this out. I just got a delivery from friend Ivan in the States. And if you've been watching this series, you know that he was building something very special for us. And I hope that's what's in here. Oh, if I can get the tape all cut. Oh, look at this. So this was the hood pull. Oh my God, Ivan, it turned out beautiful. Powder coated. Look how awesome that is. Oh, thank you so much. I know you had a difficult year, Ivan, but you really came through. We can't thank you enough. This is going to be a perfect piece for the truck. And I think he said there was something else in here for me as well. Oh, look at that. A 3D printed Kenworth. I think he said his son made this. Isn't that awesome? Well, thank you so much. That's going to be a great addition to the TwinStick garage shop. Isn't that neat? It's amazing what they can do with 3D printing. So he must have scanned this and then printed that. So that's awesome. Thanks again. All right, let's go see what this looks like on the hood. Oh yeah, that is so perfect. Ivan, you really came through. I can't thank you enough. You did just an absolute beautiful job powder coating that. And that is exactly like the movie truck. Thank you so much. So actually, a lot of people were saying that the Kenworths that were built in the States in 1973, it would have been the 50th anniversary of Kenworth. They came out with these gold hood pulls, and I searched all over the internet to try and find one like this that matched the movie truck, and all I ever did find was a red and gold. And I think that's what they did. They actually put either bronze or I doubt it was gold plating on. It's probably just bronze. So what I think they did with this one is they just painted it gold and black for the movie, but it's just a perfect match for the movie truck, and the black is just gorgeous. Okay, so now that was the final piece we're waiting for. So now we'll use some of that that cream colored paint that we picked up at Cummins, and we'll finish up putting the hood together, and we can flip the hood onto the truck.
Where are you going?
Gotta go to work.
Good morning, Captain. Good morning to you, shine. Do you need a new mule skinner down on your new mud line? Hey, 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 gonna do a little mule skinner blue. But I'm going to town, honey. What do you want me to bring you back? Bring you back. Bring me a pint of cold hard booze and a John B. Stetson hat out there. Hey, hey, boy, we gonna do a little bit of the mule skinner blue. Here I go now.
So that's what we in the industry call a two-can rebuild. Ready for auction. Actually turned out pretty decent. Okay, that's a good first coat. I'll probably go over it one more time just to see if there's any spots that I missed, but that's what I was looking for, and I'm glad I didn't. As much as I like the Cummins red, I think this is way more period correct and looks right in this truck. All right, on to the next thing.
Well, I smell your bread a burning. Woman, you better turn your damper down. Turn it down.
So the reason I didn't put the grill bars on yet is because actually one of them goes right into the hood pull, and I wanted to make sure I had the hood pull mounted first.
Well, if you can't find your damper, then mama, you better turn your bread around. It's getting brown. Hey, hey.
I got the hood all back down here. I had to do a little shoveling because this gravel was in the way. And it might be a little higher, but we'll make it work. It's close. So next what I need to do is I'm going to take off these lock rings, and then I can slide this shaft out of here, and then I'll use the existing ones. Oh, stupid leaky fingers. I'll use the existing ones. We'll put the bracket on there, and then I've got these new bushings. And what we'll do is we'll replace these old rotten ones. So we'll undo these bolts and then put them back on there. Okay, I'm gonna need my my patented paper towel and electrical tape.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man. I ain't got time to bleed.
Oh, what a treat that was. It was just a pain all the way off. And of course I can't get my fancy Milwaukee in there. So I gotta do it all by hand. But now do you know why I complain all the time about, oh look at that, good and stripped. How the heck did that get so mangled? We'll probably need some new bolts, but we can put it in there temporarily. But that's why I hate Canadian intake so much. Because if this hood would have had a proper intake on it to match the movie truck, I wouldn't have had to do all this work. Okay, looks like there's some shims, and we'll just assume that this hood matched the other one. And I'll wire that up a bit, give it a little coat of paint so it doesn't rust anymore. And then we'll beat these bushings out of there and put the new ones in. And then we'll put it on here like so. We'll do the same to the other side, and then we should be able to set it down into place. And at least if we can start a bolt, we should be able to give the hood a tip and see how it sits. And that way, if we need to add shims or take away, we can. All right, let's talk more work. Nothing ever goes quite as planned. So my idea to put these mounts on the bars and then slide it in here wasn't gonna work because the bolts are too tall. So you got to kind of put the bolts in, and they just barely clear here. So then I tighten them up, and I got both of those mounted. And now what we need to do is take these arms off, and then we'll put the arms on the mounts, and then we'll slide the hood down, and then try and line up these holes, and mount the fiberglass hood to the metal bars. Oh, fun and games, and I'm losing daylight. Try and get this done.
Up off of that ground, pick up that bucket of water, son, bring that bucket round. Oh, you don't like your job.
All right, it didn't fall off, so let's see if we can close it. Ready? Oh yes. Oh, that is so awesome. Fits like a glove. Right on. All right, well, I'm glad that's on there. I think we're gonna call it a night. We're losing our daylight real quick, but that was a big accomplishment today. Still got a long way to go, but we'll get there.